Today we have Ty of Grumpy Edge. I just wanted to thank you for your time today, sir. Just wanted to find out, how long have you been dealing with the American Bully breed?
I've been dealing with these dogs since '94. I actually, really got started back in about '98.
98.
Yeah.
Um, During that time, was that like I guess, close to the beginning of Razor's Edge?
Yeah, that's basically, I think if I'm correct, I want to say Dave started with this line when he created it back in 1990.
99. Okay.
Back in 1990, and his line started really getting established around that time, roughly between 96, around 96 to 98. That's when his line started really getting established.
What made you decide to get into the American Bully breed?
Honestly, I first actually, I grew up with game dogs, and I had them for quite a while, but I really didn't get it. I really kind of swayed away from them because of the behavior problems that I was having with them. But I got back in it because my little brother. My little brother always wanted another pit in the family, and went out and tried to make sure I get the best this time. I didn't want to just get any regular dog.
When you were searching for the particular dog that you wanted, was there a particular bloodline you wanted?
At that time, Razor's Edge actually stuck out the most to me. I did a lot of research the next time around before purchasing another dog, and Razor's Edge was local, and it was an upcoming. And when I seen his website and his dogs, it blew my mind when I seen him.
How did you get involved with Elite Edge?
With the Elite Edge, well, it really started with Dave. Dave is the one that introduced me to everybody, introduced me to the breed, and what you call it. So at that time, he was trying to get a group of people that was close to him, were his friends, and we're doing the same. Well, it's on the same, let's say, direction. We're all going the same direction at one time. And he asked me if I would like to join. I said, most definitely, because he's the one that actually tutored me and kind of mainly guided me to get to where I am right now.
Where did the name Grumpy Edge come from?
It's a funny thing. Grumpy's Edge was actually a nickname that I had when I was young. My nickname was Grumpy, probably because I wasn't always happy. But everybody's different, and I had the edge at the end because it was particular bloodline I was dealing with at that period of time. So I incorporated both together and called it Grumpy's Edge.
What style of bullies do you prefer?
As far as bullies, I mean, there's many different ranges of styles of bullies now compared to before. But if I was to pick a particular style, most likely it's going to be the standard to extreme looking dogs.
Now, for for those that don't know, you had a dog. I don't know if you still have him now. Killer Cam.
Killer Cam was produced here with the help of Dave and my ex-partner Mike. Killer Cam was a special dog to us because the way we set up the line and do the breeding, it was pretty a perfect match for me. I didn't come up with the breeding process myself. It was, like I said again, Dave was tutoring me because I was still learning how to breed dogs, and he's the one that actually planned to put the breeding together for us.
So, so would you say that's one of your best produced dogs, per se?
Definitely biggest name dog.
Biggest name. Okay,
biggest
yeah,
name dog.
Maybe that's what I was trying to go with.
Yeah, biggest name dog that I ever produced.
Because everybody knows.
Yeah, he was very well known, and it was help with again, it was help with Mike. He helped promote the dog in the right direction.
Now, with Grumpy's Edge, how did it spread out to other areas of the country? Because I think there's different branches, correct?
Yeah, there was at a particular time different branches because, again, one of my good friends at that period of time was Mike, and he happened to move away. And when he moved away, we kept close contact, and we try to work the kennel partner thing, but it usually doesn't always go the way you want it to go.
You just eventually decided to throw shows. Who was your mentor in deciding to want to go about to get into throwing shows, I guess?
The person that actually, I mean, I've been wanting to do shows for a while. I just didn't know how to do it properly. And to me, I think for a person to just jump into something and only, and host a show, it's got to be more than that. You got to bring something different, more, something more dynamic, so people can get a feel and understand it, and make sure they want to come back to your show. Anybody can host a show. If you got your money, anybody can host a show. But to do it properly, it takes experience. It takes correct guidance. And my main guidance came from Oscar from Blue Pride Kennels.
Oscar Blue Pride. What was your first show?
The first show that I actually put on from Grumpy's Edge Kennels, with the help of my partner KJ, was a show in Virginia Beach back in last October.
Oh, recently.
Correct.
Okay. What was that experience like?
It was a big learning experience. If nobody's ever hosted a show, you understand that it takes a lot out of you, promoting it, hosting it, making sure that you keep everybody happy, make sure that people will come back, and make sure keep everybody excited about it. With that show, we really want to keep it family oriented, so people can have the best experience possible.
Okay. How many shows have you thrown so far now?
Total, only through Grumpy's Edge is 2 shows. We've helped coordinate other shows, like the Beast of the East, which was a good turnout, But mainly 2 shows is what we've done so far, I could say.
Do you prefer the indoor or outdoor events?
Indoor is great because you don't have to worry about the weather. To me, honestly, I feel that outdoor shows is a lot better. You're not congested with in a small area, and people can come out and be themselves. They don't have to, they can be more relaxed, and they don't have to be so stressed out by bringing the dogs in and stuff like that, because you can be right there with your dogs at all time, and you can walk around with your dog and give whatever your dog needs at that period of time.
Now, how did the WBA come about?
Well, the WBA came about. It was a bunch of people that was involved. One of the main people that were involved was Oscar from Blue Pride Kennels, which I referred to him as almost like a brother. He was everything to me. He's the one that showed me the ropes and guided me and told me through a lot of things in my life right now that I'm doing right now myself. So it was me and Oscar, and there was other people involved, like Lynn from Liking Kennels. There was people like Fernando that was involved, and then the other members that we have in our organization. We try to make it more of a family-oriented group than just any regular any regular dog group where one only calls the shots and you have to do, and you have these rules you should do and stuff like that. We try to make it as much family-oriented as possible.
Oh, okay. So basically, it's a group of kennels from around the country, not just locally in your area.
Correct.
Okay.
The WBA is which right now is nationwide. We have members established in the South through Texas and Oklahoma. We have a lot of kennels out in California and surrounding areas. On the East Coast, we have members from up and down the East Coast, from 95, from Philly to Carolina to Virginia and all that.
With that being said, do you see the WBA, I guess, sort of being like how Elite Edge was then, at that time, back in the day?
Yeah.
I guess, what I mean by that is a group of experienced kennels just trying to better the breed.
Well, it's not just just experienced breeders, but most of the people that are involved in it has already been established. We do welcome newcomers and stuff like that want to learn, and we're willing to be, and we're all there to help them if they ever ask for help, and that's for anybody, even in or out of the group, if they've ever had any issues or any questions.
Being in the bully scene for a while, what are some of the changes you've seen as far as the involvement of the American bully then to now, as far as structural wise, temperament wise?
Well, this is a major evolution of the American bully. Again, I don't even think we can even when I first started, it wasn't the American bullies; it was still American Pit Bull Terriers, the UKC registered dogs. So there's a huge evolution of these dogs. They evolved into something that I want to say that what we were looking to create from the beginning. It just took a matter of time. I'm happy that there's many different, you could say, style now of of the breed itself, and people took it, far beyond what it was ever was dreamed to be.
So are you satisfied with the way it's going today?
Yes and no. Yes, because I think there are a lot of people that shouldn't be involved with the breed for particular reasons, and most people know what it is. And then you have people that are, I could say, people that are still very knowledgeable of the breed and what they're trying to and what we're trying to do with the breed. Structural wise, they're good and they're bad. Just like everything else, there's the good and bad. You got to take both sides. And make sure you try to do the best you can with it.
Um, this question, I guess, is for how do you feel? Do you feel it's important to have to show your dog? Is what I mean by that is to try to grand champion your dog or champion your dog out. And I guess the reason for that question, you find some popular dogs today that the owners don't even show their dogs in the ring, but still getting a lot of hits from consumers for their pups.
Well, what people don't understand is when these dogs, let's say like this, when the registry was created, it was created for a few things. It was created to know your linkage of where your dog is and to try to create a better breed. That's why people use the pedigree. Pedigree is the most important part because you know what dog came for what and how they produce and how the offsprings came to be and what dogs you should breed, what dogs you shouldn't breed. That was the main purpose of a registry and a pedigree. Nowadays people don't kind of overlook it. They don't concentrate as much as they're supposed to on a sound dog. There's more. They create more problems with the dog than they are trying to make the dog, what you call correct. I think it's a very important part if you do have a sound dog to try to do something with it to prove that it is an example of the breed. That's and the registry and the name itself.
Do you find, I guess, not a lot of new people to the breed that really don't know the background of the dog to where now they're just saying, hey, I want the shortest thing out because that's the hot thing right now, that they don't take the time to really look into the background to see what fits to what dog, to breed to what dog in order to get that perfect, in order to better the breed?
Most definitely. I think a lot of it, the thing is people have to understand where these dogs come from and how they were created and what you can do to better the breed. I think more people are getting involved. I mean, like it or not, yes, money will be involved, but it depends how you do it and if you do it properly. If you take the time to actually learn and spend time on what you're actually looking for and what you're trying to produce and what you're trying to own, it will make a huge difference with the people that are getting involved. And even breeder, before you sell a dog, you should ask the consumer what they're looking to have in their yard, so they won't waste their time. One of the biggest things that I have with my program is I won't sell my dog to just anybody. I would always prefer and ask my consumers exactly what they're looking to prefer. What they're looking at in a dog. Don't tell me short and wide and big as a head. To me, I think it's best if you go out and do some research. I'm not talking about go through the internet. I'm talking about going to shows, see particular dogs that amazes you, that catches your eyes, that catches your attention, that something that you will want. So maybe you would love the dog a little bit more. Spend more time and be with the dog a little bit more. As far as personal dog, anybody with money can go out and buy a dog, but is it the dog that you really want? So the more effort, the more time that you invest before you purchase something like a dog, because these dogs are supposed to be lifetime commitment things that supposed to be family related. They're not supposed to be just anything that you just see on a website or anything you hear from your friends, then go out and buy. You should take the time and effort to go out and actually look to see what you're getting, and that will save a lot of issues and problems with people purchasing dogs and not being satisfied with what they have.
That's interesting. You said that go out and see the dogs, because I guess my question this time is: do you think the internet, with Facebooks, YouTube, and everything, that's hurt?
That really hurts a lot of people. When I first started, yeah, it was very hard to communicate with people, and even purchase dogs. You couldn't just go out there with money and buy a dog. You actually have to come visit the person, or if you're lucky, they might email you a picture. But that's when the internet was still just getting started. We didn't have message boards and YouTubes and all that stuff back in the day when I first started. Really what we had to do was we actually had to drive to a person's house, fly to a person's house, invest money and time and effort to do what you really want to do. It was a passion. Nowadays, I think people are swaying away from being passionate about what they're doing. And the only thing I could say for those people is do your homework. Remember, you always have to go back to your roots. Remember where your roots came from. That's how you're going to be able to be successful if you ever want to get into this industry.
Do you feel it's good to have competition with the different registries we have out now? For example, like we have the ABKC, the BBCR, the IBKC. Is that a good thing?
To me, I think it's a great thing. If you think about it like this, I mean, there's multiple registries out there, for particular breeds and stuff like that. You have, let's say before any of these registries were even got established, there's the UKC, there's the AKC, the ADBA. There's many different registries for just one breed. Let's say like this: if you had a dog that was AKC, UKC champions, or grand champions, or even international champions, how good did that look for the breed itself? Everybody wanted a piece of that cake, because why? But that was it was showing that this dog lived up to the dog's standard and characteristic that it was supposed to be. With the other registry, I would definitely love to be involved with other registries. I just think that people need to take more time, and if you want to start a registry, learn to do it right. Make sure you have the correct judges. Make sure you have the right rep. All those little things fall into into that category to make sure that your registry is one of the best. So yes, I highly support multiple registries.
This was a question asked by me to ask people. Do you think the UKC would ever recognize the American Bully as a separate breed, or don't think so? Not really.
I've heard actually no. I heard that ADBA was interested in doing it. As far as the UKC, I don't think so. It would be a great thing, because, like it or not, a lot of these dogs are still registered UKC compared to other registries, like the ABKC, which is one of the most notorious ones. I think it would be a great thing, because it gives people an opportunity to bring the dogs to a high-profile registry and do something with their dogs than, just run around and not do nothing. It's always better, especially to give them more educate the people a little bit better. Definitely, I think it would be a great thing.
So what's up next for Grumpy Edge and WBA? I guess that's two separate questions.
Well, as far as Grumpy's Edge, we're still on our rebuilding period right now with my partner KJ. It went from my partner KJ. There's a lot of things I wouldn't be able to do right now with the kennel and the dogs and the breedings that we're planning on doing in the future. So big shout outs to KJ. As far as so right now, it just takes a matter of time. We'll be back to where we belong, back in the show rings and hurting people's feelings again.
and as far as the WBA,
as far as the WBA, it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. We have people, like I said, the group has grown every day. We have multiple shows that the WBA will be hosting through different regions. One of the biggest shows that's coming up is going to be the one in Texas on September 29th, I want to say. and we'll definitely like people to come out and show support to the WBA and the organization itself.
Okay. Last question. What's one of the most impressive dogs you had a chance to see in person?
Uh, I've got to see multiple and multiple and multiple dogs over the years. I mean, tons of dogs. Um, to say one dog, it'd be very hard for me to say, but I have to say a few dogs that just blew my mind at their time and era. I was lucky enough to see Cairo. He was basically one of the main reasons why I got into this breed a little bit harder than that I am now. He's one of the main reasons. King Kamali. When I first laid eyes on King Kamali at the first California show, I want to say he's probably about 10 months old at that time. One of the best looking dogs I've ever seen in my life. Hef is an awesome, beautiful dog. Very well put together dog. I love that dog. Let me see. I mean, Big Papa at this time is probably one of the best dogs I've seen with my eyes. Big Papa is probably one of the most phenom dogs. But that doesn't take away from other dogs that I've seen. You know, like I said, Easy Riders. Playboy blew my mind when I first laid my eyes on him. I couldn't believe it. You know, Lolo blew my mind. It's just so many dogs. You know, it's I can't just say one dog.
You maybe want to ask one last question because you start talking about the different regions. What's one of the? It doesn't have to be your best place, but what's one of the best places you've been for a dog show? Just really had a good time, just laid back and just really had fun connecting with the people.
I think I'll tell you two places. One is definitely California. That's a must hit. If you've never been to California and you've always been on the East Coast and the South Coast and the Midwest, you have to go to California and see what dogs are out there. I gotta say that a lot of the heavy hitters are out there, and those are some of the baddest dogs and best dogs I've seen. But besides that, I gotta say my show, because I get to enjoy. I don't show dogs at that time. I get to enjoy my company, which are the people that comes out to support my show, and I make sure that we throw one of the best shows around the area.
Right. Thank you for your time today with Zeb Pitts, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Zeb. I wanted to do a quick shout out. I want to say thank you to everybody that's actually guided me to where I am right now. You know, Dave, my brother Oscar, everyone for him. Again, I wouldn't be where I am. My partner KJ, his brother Bubba, and everybody else that helped actually support Grumpy's Edge and where we are now. Thank you.